What is the journey like from West Virginia to seeing your name or seeing your face on Times Square? What's that journey look like, and like what made you get into this line of work, and when did you decide that this is for me? And
Man,
take us through a little bit of it for.
it's crazy because I started off playing ball. Like, I played every single sport, competitive, being in front of people that I was like, you know what? Let me study, let me learn, whatever. And then when my pap passed away, when I was a senior in high school, I was like, man, he was always at all my games. So it really wasn't the same anymore. So I was like, you know what? Let me write about some things. Let me kind of get deep. And I started to get into music. But I was
Mhm.
always into music, kind of playing around in middle school. I'd always mess around, freestyle with friends, just play around. But I never really took it serious until like high school.
Mhm.
And then I was like, yo, this might be something because it's kind of the same lane,
Yeah.
competitive.
Yeah. Mhm.
Everybody's like, man, I gotta have the best song, or I gotta make the next best move, or whatever I gotta do. So that's kind of how it worked.
Yeah. And when did who did you start working with to kind of get you in to where you are now? And
So I started on a little MP3 player. I was
uh
just like, if you mess up one time, you gotta go
do the whole
all
thing,
the way
whole
back
thing back.
over
Yeah.
to figure it out. So me and my friends would record on that. We'd put a beat, and then we let it go. If one person messed up, we have to redo the whole entire song. There wasn't no going back.
Yeah.
So we kind of made it hard for ourselves, but it kind of like it was like a training, like you're in training camp basically.
Mhm.
So that's kind of how it started. Then I went to the youth center with Corey Hickman. I was like, man, I gotta get in a better studio, man.
Yeah.
Like this sound ain't it.
Mhm.
So I used to do all the stuff like putting like teen pregnancies on things, earn studio time, all kinds of things. We had to do all kinds of meetings, and you have to earn your studio time. You can't
Yeah.
just go in the studio
Back
and
before you couldn't
record.
make a home studio,
Right. So that studio was so fire, and the sound was so good. That's that's where the start of the journey
Uh-huh.
began, because the MP3, it was like, the songs are kind of weak because no quality, and then we were just practicing, trying to get ready for a real studio.
Yeah. And so what made you get this idea for the we'll talk about the event first. It's River City on the March 7th, first Fridays, and we're going to have it every month. Is that the plan?
Yeah, that's the plan. You know what I'm saying? First Fridays. First Friday of every month. I'm gonna bring in like a host and a DJ. I just felt like it would be right to start it off with Josh. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's from here who really is doing his thing and really made it. You know what I mean?
And we have DJ Slump is coming in for the first one.
Yeah, DJ Slump. I met him on the road, and DJ Slump is Riff Raff's DJ.
Oh, okay.
So he's his official DJ. So he's from Cincinnati. So I know him. I built a relationship with him. So I'm gonna bring him down as well. Yeah.
It's going to be a party on the 7th.
Oh, it's gonna be a great party, man. Everybody come out, because I ain't did a home event in a
We're
while.
going to say the way we were talking before we started filming, it's been like 8 years. You said that since
Since
you
I
left.
left the
Yeah.
area,
Hmm.
yeah, since I moved out.
And coming back in strong.
Oh yeah, it's only right to come back in with this one.
And River City had the renovations we were talking about earlier, and really, it really flipped it around. Because I remember at one time they had everything blocked off, and they had where the restaurant side was kind of their bar before they opened everything back up. And it's nice to see. It's nice to see everything they did, and they're also having the outside area. I don't know if they got
Yeah.
done with that yet, but so what can people expect when they come here on the 7th, other than the vibes and the music?
Great energy,
Right, yeah.
obviously. But also coming together is a
Yeah.
big thing for all of us. Because I think in the past, everybody had their own circles or their own ways of doing their thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But everybody could come into one building and share success and networking and talk about great conversations and just good energy.
When Kels was in here, she was saying like when she was rapping, it was a time in the valley where it seemed like it was the best thing to do was this. And it seemed like she said there was no networking whatsoever, but now it seems like everybody's kind of opening up to collaborating with each other and working with each other. which is nice.
Definitely building. You know what I mean?
So, do you have an event tonight in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I was looking at your page, and I was like, man, he's coming down here, and then having to go back up for
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, so we got an event with Johnny Blaze from Love and Hip Hop. It's
Okay.
at Lenox. It's on Carson Street, so it's gonna be crazy. So, but we do events all the time. So this one is particular. I'm like, yo, we have to start. You know, we just want to promote as much as we can.
Yeah.
Whatever we got to do, put in the groundwork. That's how this is. Like, there's no cheat codes or nothing. You got to put in the work. So.
How long do you give yourself when you're producing an event? How long do you give yourself of like the planning and everything? Do you take like 2 months to plan it all? You know, when something pops in your head, like with the First Fridays, how long does it usually take you to get the event unfolded?
We started talking about what, a month and a half ago?
Month and a half
Like,
ago, yeah.
Just trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
The month and a half to 2 months seems like the perfect time to get the groundwork and start promoting. Anything like less than that, you're kind of really shooting yourself in the foot.
Right.
And you said once every month. Are you trying to bring in like just different DJs every time, different artists?
Yeah, basically like an atmosphere. There ain't be no performances where we could just come out and have a good time like we used to back in the day at River City.
Yeah.
No performances, just come out, you know what I mean, get dressed to impress. I'm gonna have the photo you can get the photos there. It's gonna say First Fridays on it.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Just try to make it like a city feel, and you know, and just bring in some bigger people to like just party.
And something
Have a
new
good
for
time.
Wheeling. Something new for Wheeling is
Yeah,
it definitely
for sure.
would. Definitely, you were shooting at ideas of like what would work in Wheeling, and I don't want to say any, right now if any investors want to jump
Yeah.
the gun, but man, they definitely work.
Right. And shout out to Jason from River City. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had built a rapport with him from back in the day doing shows. So, you know, just went over there and talked with him, and it's been a go ever since. So
I've seen that place get packed. They can really fill. They can really fill in at River City.
we used to have a line all the way up to almost a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
It used to be packed. So we trying to just bring that back. And I think with Josh's energy and everything Josh has going on, I just think it'd be perfect. So definitely trying to get with News 9 and 7 too. So,
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah.
So you as a consumer of music, what artists do you kind of find yourself listening to?
Actually, I like all different types of music for real.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, what I'm really into is hip hop and rap and R&B.
Yeah.
You know, but I listen to everything. When I get in the car, it depends what my mood is.
Word.
If I'm
Yeah.
kind of like down, you know, I might listen to some soft stuff. But if I'm kind of like hype and energized and want to go do something, then I have to get motivated.
Yeah. There's one album for me that anytime I work out, it's been the same album since I started working out at like 17, 18. It's Tupac's Thug Life. I think
love album.
I think in order for me to work out, there's nothing that will motivate me more than like Under Pressure or the Shit
Yeah.
Don't Stop song. I love
Yeah.
that. And I
See,
haven't
that's
I haven't
before
switched
that's
it up.
before, a little bit before
Yep.
Josh's time. Thug Life. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, that is my favorite. And like, and then I'll play in a country band. It's so weird. But it also, it's kind of gives you an advantage by broadening your horizons because you can sample anything. You can find samples.
I love the samples.
That's my
That's
favorite.
like my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't really do them as much anymore. You
Yeah.
know, like they lost that creativity. Even in the videos too, like we talked about.
Yeah.
It's not just the songs, the videos too. Like everything is just like, we're just gonna do something, you know, and just go for it.
They almost like check off all the boxes and move
Yep.
on to the next
See, I
one.
remember when music used to mean something.
Right.
Like the song would match the video, and they would really get into it and get creative.
Yeah.
Now they're just like, man, we'll shoot it anywhere.
Yeah, all you need is like an Airbnb now
That's
and
it.
like call your friend.
Right.
Going back to sampling, on that Doggy Style album, there was a song "G's and Hustlers," and I didn't know it was a sample until I looked into it. But it was like a song called "Hobbo Globba Tribbin'," and I was like listening to it, and it was just a funk song about like an amusement park. It's just so wild that like you find these like songs that are just so offbeat,
Right.
And you come in and like
It's crazy that people have an ear, like, because you hear a sample and it won't sound nothing like you hear it on the Snoop. But
Yeah.
you're like, how do you get that sound out of that? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's kind of crazy that people have that kind of ear. My brother's like that. He samples a lot. He got all kinds of records and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I visited right when I started playing with the Matt Van Fossen band. We went to Chase's studio.
Okay.
Because he was shopping around for different studios and he was showing me his setup, and
Yeah.
it was very impressive.
Yeah,
And we actually went to a different one, and if I didn't join the band at that time, I would have been screaming, "We have to go here!" But
Appreciate that.
but what's crazy though is like how technology evolves. Is like probably everything in that studio is just obsolete now. It's to keep up with all the different technology and stuff of recording music. It is just wild.
Yeah.
It just gets
Everything's
easier and
going
easier.
Digital. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, it's so much advantages because, like we were talking about Isaiah, he can put out content as much as he wants to. Doesn't require him going to a AAA studio every time or hiring a
Right.
camera crew. Everybody has that ability to get out quality content that can go viral and help you out.
Right.
So a little bit of relevancy question: what did you guys think about that halftime show? It's got like the whole country divided. Right after election, they had the whole country divided. What did you
It
think
had
of
a
that performance?
message.
It did.
If anybody caught the message, that's what it was for.
Yeah.
That's what it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Right.
But obviously, you know, I'm a Lil Wayne fan, so
Oh, okay. So you were okay.
you know, so I wanted Wayne to get that bad in his city, and I feel like your own city don't want to. You know, they think that it's your own city, but it had more to do than just his city, because his city loves him.
Yeah.
People was like, oh man, nah, they're hating on him in his own city. Nah, it's the higher ups. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Kendrick had a great year, so
Yeah. And I think in the end, Kendrick wins because that's all everybody's talking about. People don't remember who won the Super Bowl. It seemed like
Yeah.
the whole timeline is just Kendrick. Whether you're for it or against it, his music, it makes you want to have an opinion. So
Yeah.
I feel like that in the end, you know what I mean, his sales went up. Like I feel like he really won. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And even if you take all of like the message out of it to a production and performance standpoint, he did that with no main track.
Right.
Moving around like
Hip-hop,
that.
real
Like,
hip-hop.
Yeah, he moved. I saw a stat that he moved more yards than the Chiefs. Through that. And,
Right.
and it was funny because like I had a lot of artists complaining on my Facebook about it. I'm thinking like, I see you get winded after moving 10 yards. I mean, this guy is hustling. Like,
yeah.
and to be able to like to rap.
But it's
moving
crazy
like
where
that.
he came from though. Like he was a hype man. Like
Yeah.
he was never a main artist he was a hype man. And
Yeah.
I think he was a hype man for J Rock or something
Yeah.
like
Oh
that.
yeah. When he
So-
first started
okay.
out,
So he
yeah.
wasn't even a rapper. He was just a hype man, hyping the crowd up. Like he was never none of that. So the fact that he came from that to that is insane.
the hustle.
Yeah.
Man. So, when you're working with like Creators Inc., is there a certain creator that you find yourself gravitating more? Is there a guy that you like working with your brand or who you promote?
Yeah, so for Creators Inc., the company is based out of LA. That's where the mansion's at. That's where the headquarters at and everything. So to find like the best creators, obviously they have to have the highest numbers. That's what they care about.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game. So like that's why they have like all the big influencers and major, you know, OnlyFans girls and because they want the top of the charts. So it's like Hollywood, like their place is right by Hollywood.
It's crazy how that system works where you can rent a house and you can just produce content for the rest of the year. And they have it down to a science too. If you look at how they work backstage and stuff.
Oh yeah, the money, the OnlyFans money is a different type of money. It's a different type of money. We're talking, man.
Some cheese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then like the fact that they have like we just created a studio inside of the mansion now. So we just had like Moneybag Yo come in for like 3 or 4 days. He was recording massive songs. So now we're getting all the big rappers and we're getting them involved now too, which is crazy.
Nice. It's nuts. I looked this up before. I guess OnlyFans started with a couple chefs that wanted to show their fans how to cook food.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. And look what that evolved into in a matter of
Yeah,
4 or
see,
5
OnlyFans
years.
could be anything though.
Yeah,
because
that's what I don't
we
think
have
people
girls,
understand that,
We
yeah.
have girls as PG. So PG means they don't show nothing.
Oh,
They
okay.
just tease. just show a little cleavage. They don't show everything. Then we have rated R ones too that show it all. So there's different levels. People think, oh, OnlyFans, like every girl showing everything. No. Some of these girls are making $1 million a month showing just barely nothing. Like, it's insane.
I couldn't imagine too, like the money of like the private messages and like the private requests that goes through that you don't even see like by like the stream numbers out.
Yeah.
Now, do you run into a lot of problems when like you're dealing with them of like say like outside like men like harassing or?
Yeah, you always have stalkers, but I feel like they control it pretty good.
They do. Okay, I didn't know
because it's very private. Like all the events are private, all the caterings and everything. So everything's very exclusive.
That's good.
So that way, no randoms could come in and like try to be weird.
Yeah, I didn't know how accessible they were to like somebody that got a little bit too into like somebody they're subscribing to.
Which you're right, because you never know about this internet.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Rich Investments Group. Attention investors, looking for a secure way to grow your wealth? Rich Investments Group, based right here in St. Clairsville, Ohio, is offering an incredible opportunity. Their private lenders earn returns up to 3 times higher than a typical CD. And the best part, your investment is backed by the property's mortgage. That means real, tangible security. Rich Investments Group prioritizes transparency, communication, and delivering industry-leading ROI. It's time to put your money to work for you. Don't miss out on this chance to grow your wealth securely with Rich Investments Group. Do you have some junk in your trunk? Do you have some junk in your basement? Do you have some junk in your garage? Well, we're proud to announce that there is a new company to the Ohio Valley offering a special discount for our listeners that can handle that problem for you. Rhino Dumpsters and Services. They're based out of Martins Ferry, Ohio, and provide affordable and reliable dumpster rentals for all your needs in the Ohio Valley. Dumpster size is 15 cubic yards, and they can be used for residential or job site cleanups. You fill it, they haul it. Perfect for home renovations and house cleanouts. And as a special bonus for all 10 String Tavern listeners, you can call and get 10% off this month, February, and next month of March. Call or text them today to schedule your rental at 740-827-6533 or 740-391-0582. Check them out at Rhino Dumpsters and Services LLC on Facebook.
But that's the same thing even with the music. Like, you can be next to somebody or around somebody that you don't know what the intentions are either. Like, I've been at events where like somebody might shake your hand, but they might like be kind of, you're like, hold on, I gotta watch him. I don't know what he's in. There's always that one person that because the music's dangerous. I mean, people don't really realize how dangerous it can really get and be.
Word.
But what I used to do in the Valley that kind of I had to separate was the gangs. So in Steubenville, I used to have 2 different gangs.
Word.
And I used to separate my shows. Like, okay,
Oh, really?
this time they'll come here, the next time they'll come here, because it's really real up there.
All right.
So how did you go about separating? Was it like
I just knew both sides, and I said, okay, well, you guys need to wait until the next show.
Right. Okay,
That's smart.
Yeah, I didn't know if like you marketed a certain way to kind of attract. Yeah,
it gets crazy up there. They're serious.
Yeah,
like it's no joke up there. Like, I've done events up there, parties, and it gets wild up there.
So in the area of Steubenville down to here, what would be like your favorite place to throw events or perform at? The venues, or here now, or if it closed down before, what would have been your favorite?
I would say definitely. I think River City was a good one, just because the location and everything. Yeah. But I would say, I mean, they're saying the Waterworks right now is a nice venue.
Waterworks,
but I've
Waterfront.
Waterfront.
Yeah.
I've never been there yet.
Yeah,
but
nice.
It's nice.
They're saying it's exclusive. But the Edge is one of my favorites.
Edge was nice
because the upstairs was VIPs, the downstairs a huge floor. It's just the creativity of the Edge was more club feel.
And you said earlier, it's like it made you feel like you weren't in Wheeling.
Yeah, it made you feel like you was in Hollywood.
Oh, right. Yeah.
What now city wise? What would be your favorite place to go and visit to do work?
Miami.
Miami?
I
Okay.
love Miami. Like,
Right.
honestly, I will move down to Miami. The reason why I haven't is because my kids love their school. But
Okay.
if not, I would have been in Miami.
Yeah.
I just love Miami, the vibes.
Yeah.
Word.
You could be yourself, and they don't judge anyone in Miami.
And they're out till all hours. They,
Yep.
Miami does not sleep.
South Beach, they don't judge nobody. You be yourself out there. Like anybody could, do whatever you want to do, and they don't judge you.
Yeah. So if anybody's listening to the podcast, sees what you're doing, do you have any advice if they would kind of want to follow your shoes and get into like the music industry? Not so much like being an artist already and like what you should look out for, but somebody that's like on the fence is like, I think I could do this. What should I do in this area to kind of get me?
I say this. I watch him come up, and it's all about the grind. I mean, he'll tell you that. Like,
Yeah.
he took a lot of losses before he started to win. Now he can't stop winning. You know what I'm saying? But you got to put that grind in. A lot of people just be talking. They're not really gonna put it in. So that's what I would say.
And it's so easy to put it in too now because like
It's a lot easier now.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
go everywhere, be
Yeah.
driving everywhere with
Yeah.
no gas and this and that. For real.
I mean, I think the whole issue with artists, there's so much talent, but they
Yeah.
waste it. Like they waste it because they're not as serious as they need to go to more cities to see how serious they are.
Yeah.
Then I think if they take that recipe, they come back, they're gonna have that real fuel. Like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Right.
like these people in these cities, they don't play.
Yeah.
Right.
They pull out their camera right now, like, yo, we're filming right now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're serious about
They
what
don't
they
stop.
Right. And
Yeah.
also, that's how you get credibility around here, by leaving and doing something different than what people around here doing. Because, I mean, why would I come to your show if you're doing the same thing I'm doing every day?
Yeah.
So when you're doing something different, like, you know what I mean? People around here, they gravitate towards that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, okay, he's really making moves. But if they're seeing you every day, then you're not no different than them. So they're less likely to come to your show and stuff like that.
Find out what the small fish in a big pond are doing so you can come back and be that big fish in a
Right.
small pond.
Right.
And we talk about like how technology's evolved to where you can do the music recording, the video recording to put yourself out there. And I think too it's like it's getting better for people like legally. Like we were talking about last time you were in here how like own your music.
Yeah.
And like when I started to come up and playing, it's like you didn't really have any help about like, oh, you shouldn't put this song on Facebook because that's a copyright law, or like somebody has a license for this. I was never really told, but now it's kind of getting more clear of what you
Right.
can and can't do. I had an artist from the Valley send me a rap they made, and I said, "This is awesome. Did you produce it?" They're like, "Oh no, we got this beat off YouTube." I'm like, "Please don't put this out. Please don't
Yeah.
put this out anywhere," because like I think you said last time, like you can put a song out and you won't even know. Like you're in trouble till like 5 years after it blows up, and then all of a sudden,
They want
like,
that back pay.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's crazy because you could have that one song that could take you out of here.
Yeah.
And if you don't move the right way, you're done. Mm-hmm. That might be the only song they might want too.
Right.
And then you could have lost your opportunity just because you was rushing to get it done.
yeah.
You was trying to get something done.
Or you could even have a 30-second clip on TikTok of your song and it go viral, and then nobody even knows the rest of the song. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's not.
See, and another thing is you got to make sacrifices, and sacrifices as far as you got to be able, if you don't have the budget or you can't move around, you got to be able to be willing to do different things as far as like, okay, I have enough gas to get here and back, but guess
Right.
what?
Yeah.
If I gotta sleep in my car
That's just what it is.
and go to the rest area and take a shower and get freshened up, that's what you gotta do. I mean, I did that before
Yeah.
all this,
That's a
everything.
fact.
I did that. My parents was on the road with me. We were sacrificing. We didn't have no money. Like we just doing whatever we could to get to the point to where it's like, okay, now I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Put that work in.
if you don't put the work in, or you don't go city, state to state, you can't really expect somebody to knock on your door like, hey, I got a record deal for you. I got something for you.
It don't
Yeah.
work like
It don't work like that, especially now because look at all the choices you could go. You could go down the street and go find somebody who's 20 times more serious than you.
But you know, we was just talking about, man, shout out to Real Added Up, like you said. He's that new age hustler. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be there. Like, no matter what he gotta do, you're saying he's gonna be there, right?
Yeah. And he said, yo, I want to come on the podcast. I said, I'm sure they would love to have you on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, check him out, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime you want to bring somebody
Real
on.
grind, like real work, real hard.
Is he local from here?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in
Yep,
Steubenville.
he's from
Oh,
Steubenville.
Steubenville. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So you mentioned before the podcast that you're working with Soldier Boy. You want to take us through a little bit of that?
Yeah,
How what that experience was like?
Yeah, we got off the Soldier Boy tour. We did some dates on the tour, and it was crazy.
So
Super
what
lit.
what did the tour consist of? Tour travel wise, where'd you have to go?
You know, we went to Columbus. We went to Pennsylvania. We did a bunch of dates, but this one was more of the Midwest.
Okay.
He's doing another tour coming up, so that's going to be more West Coast and, you know, hitting the cities like that. But this was like more of the Midwest, so we was hitting like all the Midwest. And
Okay.
he did a lot of Pennsylvania though. There was like, there was probably at least 6 or 7 Pennsylvania dates.
That's a lot of traveling.
It was a lot of Pennsylvania dates.
And you travel along with that.
Yeah,
Along
so
with that.
yeah, so I was like, I opened up right before he came out. It was crazy. Like, probably my favorite city was Columbus, though.
Oh, really?
Columbus was insane.
Where'd you hit up in Columbus?
Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, no, I mean like the
It was
club.
what was it? Mayor knows.
The location?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I don't know, but it was
We had
like
so many dates.
it was like a big theater. It was like a big theater,
Okay.
and it
Scully's?
was yeah, I don't know what it was. I'll have to look on the flyer.
Okay.
But it was insane. Like, it was packed.
Lit.
Yeah, it was super lit. But they had the West Virginia lights on me, which was
That's
cool because I
awesome.
got to talk to the production and stuff. I'm like, yeah, man, turn on them blue and yellow lights, and they turned it on for me. So
That's
It was
awesome.
cool that I got to represent like the Valley doing that.
And his audience was real receptive to you too.
Oh, it was so awesome. Like,
Nice. I can imagine that adrenaline rush.
Oh,
Man.
it was intense. Like, you know, when you're backstage before you go out, you're like, oh snap, this is like packed. It's
That's
not.
what you work for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's
That's like the best thing I can get out of music is that adrenaline rush afterwards.
Yeah.
After everything's packed up and you're sitting there just going through the show in your head, it's like I can't sleep till like 3 a.m. sometimes. I just keep thinking
But
back.
it was
and back
it was
and
just
back.
relationships. Like, shout out to Mr. Two Official, Miami Mike. Like, I built relationships with them guys for years.
Uh-huh.
So Mr. Two Official was like, yo, you know what I mean? You gotta hit these dates in these cities. And I was like, man, I'm there. Like, so we drove. We just driving everywhere.
You said his next tour is going to be more West Coast focused.
Yeah, it's West Coast and South. I think that's
Okay.
what he's gonna do. But he did more of the Midwest, the last one.
Who would be your favorite musical performer that you've worked with?
That I've worked with. That's hard.
Not so much like their music is your favorite, but who like as like a coworker or like someone else in production who was like easy to work with or who you had a good time with or learn from.
Wow, that's hard. I don't know, because when I did the Tales on BET with Irv Gotti, it was more like he got that intimidated feel, but he's really about his work. So
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Irv Gotti. Like, I think Irv Gotti was like one of them ones where, like, if you mess up, he's gonna tell you, yo, you better get back in there.
Yeah,
Like, he was
on it.
strict.
He wasn't playing.
He
You
wasn't
need
playing.
something
So
like that.
I think Irv Gotti was like, because I kind of like, you know, you don't want it always easy. Because
Yeah.
if it's easy, it don't mean nothing to you.
Yeah.
So he was kind of like a coach more so to me. He was like a coach. Like, he was like coaching me, like
That's good.
telling me like, yo, get over there and do this. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he was like in my ear. And I was like, man, I ain't never really had nobody that like
Right.
put that pressure.
Looking
Yeah,
out
put
for
that
ya.
pressure on me. But when people put the pressure on you, it makes you more stronger.
Iron
And-
sharpening iron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think Mean Master P was crazy too, though, because
I was nuts. when I
P
saw
was
him.
about his business.
Yeah.
So when I'm in the room and I'm presenting my movies and presenting stuff to him, I'm like, man, this is somebody I want to learn from too, because he's just so serious about his business, and he comes up with anything. He comes up with the cereal. He'll come up with shoes. He'll come up with the music, like hustler, anything. So that's why I'm like, I never try to put myself in one box.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, man, I gotta dabble into everything. I don't care what I get into. As long as it's music or long as it's music longevity, I'll dabble into it and fit my way. Like I got my own magazine now. Never thought I would I never thought I would do that.
What's a magazine name too?
So it's called The Next Big Thing Magazine.
Okay.
So I just started that. I just started my first issue and got it done.
Nice. Now, how can viewers get that?
They could get it online, or I have stores right now. I'm putting it in. So I'm putting it in like liquor stores and smoke shops and clothing shops. So I'm gonna start off with that.
That's targeted marketing. That's perfect. Yeah.
And then once it builds up, I'm gonna try to get into corporations, like, and get it more bigger and bigger. But you got to start somewhere. And that was just something that I came up with. I was like, man, when I sat back, I was like, I want to have my own magazine. And I looked into it, and I started like thinking about all the magazines that I grew up on. So, like The Source. Yeah. And I worked close with Benzino. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I could do something like this.
Yeah.
And then Double XL. But I was like, I don't want just any magazine. I shopped around and was like, I need to have the best magazine, the best quality, the best everything. So when I got the gloss and got the real magazine, not just paper.
Right, like Green Tab or something like that. Yeah.
I said, I want the real
People
one.
gotta respect.
Right.
Yeah.
So I build my own.
It's fun because, like, there's some people that say, like, you have to be a journalist to be able to do that. You have to be in this to be able to do that. It's like, if you're a grinder, you can, and you want to produce something, you can find a way to do it.
It's just about that work.
So this event coming up, the first Fridays, is this something that people would need, like, pre-sale for, or the?
I'm not sure if we're gonna do pre-sale or not, but like, I'm making it real affordable. It's only $10. I'm not trying to beat nobody in the head. I just want the whole valley to come out and have a good time.
Have a good time, network.
Like, dress up, dress to impress, feel good about yourself. It's the first Friday, you know what I'm saying? First of the month. Everybody come out. Josh gonna be there. He's hosting the event. You see what he's doing. And Slump is a crazy DJ, so everybody just come out and have a good time. I think it's Vondell Bell.
Okay.
He's gonna have his art on display, and he's gonna have merch for sale as well. So
nice.
That'd be dope too.
That's awesome.
And I'm assuming that, like, not having that main artist or not having a competition, it just makes everything so much more stress free. Yeah. And, like, people not hitting you up like, why did he get in? Why did I not get in? You have to deal with all that. And
yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, later down the line, like, I mean, maybe next month, I was thinking about bringing Big Hef for like a what's he do, the Midwest tour or whatever, and then bring an artist so they could perform in front of him. But at River City, it's just gonna be everybody out having a good time, dressed up, doing their thing.
Which is what the Valley needs, because we don't have that. We don't have something to look forward to where it's like, yo, Friday or Saturday night, man, we're coming out. We're going out. We need to go out and have a good time, because people got kids. People, their jobs might be stressing them out. So that could be their getaway to, get something off their mind for a couple hours,
Yeah. And for, like, in performers and artists, like, the perfect networking spot. Everybody's coming to have a good time and, do something they're passionate about. And
you can come chop it up with Josh, with Mayor, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Dudes is really making moves in the industry, like really doing stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it's good to be around those kind of people that can really change your life, put you in a different position, you know what I mean? So that's what I want to bring to the Valley. I want to make sure that I'm bringing people like that, like, you know what I'm saying, that are really doing stuff.
And spark that thought of maybe somebody looking from the outside and think, maybe I could do this. And these are the people that I need to get a hold of to be able to do this.
For sure.
And I want to shed light to Mayor of DMV. Like, I want to bring him on, let him talk, do his thing, because that's what we do. Like, we share that light, because if it wasn't for him, he kept me motivated and going. And I'm going to let him sit. I'm going to let you sit down and talk. I'm going to be in the middle.
Look, what's up, man?
What's up, right there, though?
Oh, what's the camera here?
Yeah, camera right there.
Yeah, look, we're not doing too much. I love West Virginia. I've been coming out here for over 10 years now. I'm from Washington, D.C.
Okay.
But I've been working with Josh. I've been working with Slick, too. We did a few things, too.
Word.
But I'm looking forward to this event y'all got going on. We used to run big events at Karen's Pub. We brought a lot of big people. Mike Jones, We bought Little Scrappy, Benji. We brought a bunch of people down to West Virginia throughout the years. So like I seen Josh just growing, and now he's like almost a millionaire now, man. So I'm just looking forward to this event Watts got coming up. Though. I think it's gonna be pretty big too.
Have you been to River City?
Yeah, I've been to River City
Have you?
before. I've been there a few times. I stayed there. Actually, I stayed there recently. So that's a nice,
Okay.
that's a real nice casino y'all got out.
No,
No.
the venue.
It's the,
Oh, the venue.
That's
Oh, I thought
You talking about the Rivers Casino?
that shows I'm not from here, but no, I haven't been to that event.
Okay,
I haven't
okay.
been to that venue
It's
yet.
very nice. It's a very nice.
It's a
venue.
nice. I heard
Yeah.
about it. I actually heard
Yeah.
about
They
it.
just renovated it too.
But Josh, I know he moved. He got really big, and now you do a lot more. We do a lot more events in Pittsburgh. But
Yeah.
I know he's ready to link back up with Watts and go crazy out here. In
This
West
is
Virginia.
prime musical real estate, or it is going to be. I feel like we just need to get that culture of something's going down in Wheeling every weekend, and then I think
Dude,
it'll
when I
blow
was
up.
out here, they brought like helicopters out. They brought the news. They had brought a yacht out and everything out in Wheeling. Like it was like a while ago.
from Mike Jones.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
for Josh and Mike Jones, I was like, I didn't know it was like this. They did it huge out here.
Yeah.
And then Bel Air, that Bel Air house, is that that's out here?
Yeah.
West
Yeah,
Virginia,
yeah,
too,
right down the highway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that place got big too. Like Crip Mac, Island Boys, a lot of big people was like, oh yeah, we heard about that that haunted house in West Virginia,
yeah.
right? So that's kind of a big thing too, that Bel Air house thing.
One
So-
of the craziest stories from this
see what I'm
area.
saying? So for being West Virginia, you guys like actually got like y'all kind of buzzed up in the game. Thanks to I would say Slick Watts and Josh, because they're the first guys besides a football player I ever knew from West Virginia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, West Virginia, y'all do numbers now. Y'all do. I see y'all doing all right. Y'all coming up real fast too.
The city of Wheeling is going through a major streetscape project, kind of like opening up the streets now. For a while, it was pretty
Oh,
pretty
I
rough.
seen they're doing something with the
Yeah.
what is it? The bridge.
Trying to rebuild.
Yeah,
They're about
yeah.
to do something
Yep. Trying to
crazy.
Big welcome center coming
infrastructure.
in.
That's
yeah.
insane. Now
Yeah,
that's
a lot
gonna
of
be
it. A lot of
insane.
outdoor dining coming in now, getting built. And,
Yeah.
I can't wait
That's
to see this
crazy.
show, man. I can't wait
Yeah,
to
it's
see
gonna be
this
lit,
show.
man.
Yeah.
All right, well, nice. Thanks for the little intro, man, guys.
Oh, yeah,
And,
for
you know,
sure.
Appreciate it. I'm going to be back in West Virginia a lot, hopefully, man. Especially if the show go
Word.
really good. We bring some big
Come back
artists
here
out
for
here.
an episode. Yes.
Exactly. Yep. But all right, love.